Guys, it's Mooncore MXC here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. And today I wanted to show off a online haul, CD collection haul of stuff I've purchased recently on various sites like Amazon, Discogs, eBay, mostly Discogs and Amazon. These are not in any particular order, but I am going to pick a select few out that I would like to show off at the same time. Just those two. So, let's get right into it. So, this is Bullet for My Valentine, Hand of Blood. I actually ordered their self-titled EP, but I got this instead. Not complaining though, because this is a radio and DJ promo single. It has 2 songs on it. It's got actually just one, Hand of Blood, and an enhanced, like the music video for Hand of Blood. This is an enhanced CD. Okay, so I'm gonna show both of these off at the same time. This is a grindcore band called Axia. They have 2 albums, but I've only heard this one, so I bought this one. Probably should have bought Pulverizer too, because I want to listen to that also at some point. But this is Adrenalizer. Very brutal death grind. Favorite songs, probably Itch of Adrenaline, 1,000 Miles to the Core, Never Again, and Swelling. Probably my favorite songs on this CD. 15 songs, 20 minutes runtime. Very good album. Would definitely recommend this band. They are an underground band from Portugal. Very good. And the guitarist, Max, sent me this also. This Portuguese metal sampler. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. I can't speak Portuguese. But it's all like self-released like Portuguese songs from Portuguese bands. I listened to this whole sampler actually, and all the songs on here are really good. Max plays guitar in another band called Colosso, and their song From Nothing to Nothing is on here, so makes sense. There is an AI generated song on this album by Nothing More. Not alternative metal, Nothing More. But like it's like an AI generated power metal band, and the lyrics are literally just a bunch of like binary code numbers. And the lyrics. This is the 3rd volume, all self-released songs, all Portuguese bands, and this is the 3rd volume in this series of samplers. So I guess makes sense. This next CD is Cleric, The Underling. Got this for $4 on eBay. They are a mathcore band. This was actually the wrong CD. I meant to order a miscellaneous like compilation CD called What the Fuck is Grimace. If I remember to edit it in, I will put it right here. I'll probably forget. But anyway, this is Cleric the Underling 4-song EP. Not a huge fan, but there were a few parts in Draw a Robot that were pretty cool. I'll put these in order because there's like 4 CDs by this band. So these are all Alice in Chains CDs. We got Facelift. This was their first one in 1990. Yeah, 1990. I've not listened to this entire album yet, but I have listened to the first 6 songs on it, and they are very good. Not on par with the 2 albums that I have heard by them, but they are good. Of course, this has the hit song Man in the Box. We Die Young is great too. All the songs I've heard off this are really good. Yeah, Facelift. This next one is one I bought quite a while ago, but I still count it as part of the haul because it was like I bought this like late last month. No, like mid last month. And I also bought a second copy of all of these for my friend. Ion, if you're watching this, next time we see each other, you're better get every Lane Staley era album by Alice in Chains, except for Unplugged. I forgot about Unplugged. Fuck. Anyway, Dirt. This is an incredible album. I honestly view them as more of an alternative metal band than I do as a grunge band. And this album especially is very, Helmet-y. Totally not foreshadowing. Let's see, Them Bones, Damn That River, Rain When I Die, Rooster, Dirt, Godsmack is decent, Angry Chair is a fucking banger, and Wood are all standouts. Jar of Flies, I've not spun this one yet, I kind of opened it and put it on my shelf, because I was sorting my CD collection as this arrived in my house. So I haven't listened to this, really. So, Jar of Flies. I might post a review of these two Alice in Chains CDs when I do get the chance to listen to them. Okay, and this final Alice in Chains is their self-titled, which is, I've listened to this whole album. Not as good as Dirt, but still very good. I think Grind might be my favorite song. Also, Over Now is a banger. Little underwhelmed with their CD designs, I'm not gonna lie. So next up is Arch Enemy, Doomsday Machine. Very good melodic death metal. Arch Enemy are a great band. They're one of the biggest female-fronted metal bands, especially in death metal. I don't know of a single other death metal band with a female vocalist in it. If you know any, drop it in the comments, unless YouTube turns off my fucking comments. YouTube, Miss Wojcicki, what is your name? I forget. If you're watching this video, please do not turn off my comments. YouTube, do not turn off my comments. Arch Enemy, Doomsday Machine, great album. This next one is a split CD that I kind of bought on a whim. This is, May 5th, 2000, or 5/5/2000, and Pizzer Lawn. Split CD. Doesn't have an official title, but it contains a live track by 5/5/2000, which I'm not sure if it actually is a title, because on some places online it contains says this first line of text here is the title, and on some others it just says untitled. But there are 8 Pizzer Lawn songs and 1 5/5/2000 track, but it's made up in the fact that the 5/5/2000 song is 20 minutes long, and all of the Pizzer Lawn songs combined are 19 minutes long. Listen to this. I only got it mainly because of Pizzer Lawn, because the vocalist of Pizzer Lawn is also the vocalist for one of my favorite grindcore bands of all time, Otka. I have their 2007 EP, 6 Pieces of Otka, for 14 seconds on CD. That is downstairs by my computer, though, unfortunately. So this next CD, I don't know why I'm showing you the disc. This is Edge of Sanity and their album Crimson from 1996. I have yet to listen to anything else by this band, but this song or album, it's technically a song because it's only one track and it's 40 minutes. So I guess this is a single. Technically, I don't know. I think it's an album. This is an album. I'm just gonna call it an album. It doesn't fucking matter. Very good album. It's a fusion of death metal and progressive metal, much in the vein of like Blood Incantation or Opeth. Except for Blood Incantation has more of those like Pink Floyd synthesizers. But anyway, very good. Would recommend. This is Violence by Nothing Face. Alternative / new metal band. Very good album. Favorites on here. Make Your Own Bones is a banger. Bleeder is great. Can't Wait for Violence is super cool. Blue Skin and Dead Like Me are awesome. There's also Everlasting Godstopper and Piss and Vinegar, which are among my favorites on here. Other ones are super awesome too, but they're more of just like album tracks for me anyway. This is the new All That Remains album that came out on January 31st. Yeah, that's right. It came out last weekend. I was gonna do a review on this, but I'm not very good at album reviews. Especially not when they're like unscripted album reviews. And I was gonna do something like that. It's sort of in the vein of Anthony Fantano. Although I imagine that those are also scripted. Anyway. This album is a banger front to back. There's a bit of drama behind it, considering Phil Labonte is kind of getting canceled. He's come out and said some pretty right-wing stuff, so, Anyway, this is Anti-Fragile. All these songs are bangers. Divine, Kerosene, No Tomorrow, awesome. Piper is good. Anti-Fragile, the self-titled title track is sick. Poison It is also very good. Forever Cold, I'm iffy on that song. It's good, but it's not as good as the rest of them. And there's also Cut Their Tongues Out and Let You Go. Not a big fan of Blood and Stone. I think the chorus is a little mid. This is Fear Factory. Fear Factory Digimortal. They took a more new metal sound with this one to combine with their industrial metal, pre-established industrial metal, groove metal sound. Although they did have a death metal album in the early 90s, that album is really good too. I have yet to own that on CD. I actually don't own any of their other CDs. I just own Digimortal so far. But I really like the minimal art style that they went for with this CD art. Lynchpin is an absolute banger, and it got me into more extreme music. Here is, I told you, foreshadowing, Helmet, Meantime. I got into them pretty recently. I'd heard that a lot of alt metal bands were influenced by Helmet. So I was like, why? The blueprint for most alternative metal post 92. Anyway, this album is awesome. I was listening to it earlier, actually. In the meantime, Ironhead, Give It, Unsung, Your Contribution Left Unnoticed, Better, You Borrowed, FBLA 2, and Role Model. Every song on here slaps. This next one is pretty rare. It is James Plotkin's Phantom Smasher. This is a very eclectic band when it comes to what genre they are. They're like a mix of like progressive rock with like experimental jazz grind with some noise elements, quite a bit of noise elements. If I could give something the genreless tag, I would give this album the genreless tag. But yeah, this is a very eclectic listen all the way through. Bishop Hopping and Halibut Jones are my favorites on here. Rest of it was very good. Rest of it's very good too. But if you just want to, if you want to get into this album, I would recommend those two. This is, I heard Occulturation talking about this band, and speaking of Occulturation, yesterday posted a YouTube video reviewing my Spotify playlist. So go watch Occulturation. He is fucking awesome. I saw him talking about this band and specifically this album, Cleansing by Prong. And I wanted to check it out, so I bought the CD because I've been listening to much more CDs than streaming recently. And I've not listened to any of this yet. Not even, I've heard the hit single is on here is Snap Your Fingers, Snap Your Neck, especially as evidenced by the hype sticker. Focus. Okay. Yeah, anyway. So I've heard nothing off of this, so I'm going in with a clean slate, and I'll post a review of this too. This next one is one of the first ones that arrived. Actually same time as the Bullet for My Valentine Hand of Blood single. There's a grindcore avant-garde grind band called Sudoku, and this is their first album, Space Grind. They went to go on like a more cyber grind or like progressive metal direction after this album, and I think they had one after this that was still avant-grind. But this album is sick. They actually used drum machines instead of real drums, which is fascinating to me considering most drum machines I've heard in metal. There's this band, I don't remember the name of it, but Vodka? I don't know if that's their name. Anyway, there's a black metal band that I remember looking at a long time ago, and they had this like black noise sound, and they used drum machines that were like the 90s drum machines, like TR-808s almost, and it sounded so bad. But this actually utilizes those in a good way, and I didn't even know it was a drum machine when I first listened to this album. It's some of the best like drum machine work I've ever listened to on any album. Okay, and these are the final two. This is not metal. This is a bop, jazz rock musician, Eugene Maslov. I discovered him a couple years ago, through looking up Autumn in New England by David Huntsinger on Spotify. And he also has an album called Autumn in New England, Eugene does. But I listened to Nerdist by Eugene years ago on this CD, and fell in love. I haven't listened to him in a really long time, but I did listen to that song yet earlier today, and I loved it. So I'm gonna give this a proper listen at some point when I'm in the mood for jazz. And this final one is a compilation CD, and this comp would be Beavis and Butthead. The Beavis and Butthead Experience. If I can get this fucking case back together. Okay. The Beavis and Butthead Experience, which contains a lot of metal and rock tunes. It's got Nirvana, Anthrax, Megadeth, Aerosmith, White Zombie, Primus, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Jackal, but it also has songs from Run DMC and Sir Mix-a-Lot and Cher, interestingly, on the same CD. I Hate Myself and I Want to Die is really good. Surprisingly, Bounce by Run DMC is good. I normally am not the biggest hip-hop fan. I mean, I like hip-hop. I was listening to the Slim Shady LP earlier. But anyway, not really into the style of hip-hop that Run DMC plays. But that was a really good song. Monster Mac was funny by Sir Mix-a-Lot. And the Cher I Got You Babe duet was funny. Anyway, good comp. So that was my CD haul. This is not all of them. Thank you for watching my shitty excuse of a video, and I will see all of you in the next video, which will probably be in 300 years. Peace the fuck out. Stay metal!